What's going on, everyone? Welcome to your 26th Java tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to be building a random number generator. We're going to be importing that from a class, and I'm going to be showing you how you can use random number generators to, you guessed it, generate random numbers. So let's go ahead and pretend we were building a program so we could roll a dice, and whatever the outcome of the dice, it just outputted on our screen. So whenever we want to use random numbers, we need to import something like we did scanner, but this one is called random. So go ahead, put import java util, and the name for this is random. Ugh, got smoker's cough or something. So let's go ahead and import random, and now just like the scanner, we need to make an object for it. So I'm going to name mine dice. You can name yours whatever you want, and of course that's equal to new, not random with empty parameters. So now that we got our dice object, we can use random numbers. So the other thing we need is a temporary variable called number. It doesn't need to be called number, but I'm going to call it number, and this is going to store the number that outputs on the dice. So for example, it's going to store 1 to 6 depending on what number you roll. So I just don't want to roll the dice once, I want to roll it 10 times. So for that I'm going to need a for loop. So let's go ahead and put for int counter, let's start it at 1. Let's say while counter is less than or equal to 10, and let's increment it by 1. So now we have a loop that's executing 10 times, so now we got to give it some instruction. Well, since number doesn't have a value yet, let's go ahead and give it a value. Now, what you would usually do is use your object like this, number equals dice, and then put your dot separator next int because you're getting an integer, and then type in how many options you want it to have. And since a dice has options 1 to 6, I'm going to go ahead and put 6 right there. Now, this would work right here, and let me show you guys what this does. Let's just go ahead and system out print line. And this is gonna work fine, so you can pay attention to this number plus, and we don't need that other one right there. So looks good enough. Let's run it and see what it does. It says 3 2 3 4 5 0 1 1 2 1. Those look like random numbers, but the problem is all of these random numbers, if you couldn't tell, they go from 0 to 5. And why is that? Well, I'm about to show you guys right now. Whenever you use this random number generator and you give it 6 options, the options that it takes by default are 0 through 5 if you use 6. Again, that's 6 numbers, but when it includes 0, it only goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what if instead of 0 through 5 is your 6 options, you wanted 1 through 6? Which we do want since it's a dice and the dice doesn't have 0. Well, what we would do in this case is simply put 1 plus and then use our dice object to call this. And what this does is it still uses the numbers 0 through 5 in this, but it adds 1 to them. So what it does is give the illusion that we're getting the numbers 1 through 6, excuse me. So now let's run this again and we'll see what we get. As you can see, there's no zeros, and you get 4, 1, 6, 2, 2, 4, 3, 1, 1, 2. And all of these numbers are in the range of 1 to 6, and that's what we want. So again, if you want to do this, all you have to do is list however many numbers you want in your range, and if you put 6 by default, it's going to give you 0 through 5, since all computer counting starts at 0. But if we want the numbers 1 to 6, we have to add this little 1 addition sign, and that takes 0 through 5 and adds 1 to them, or increments them over, pushes them all over by 1. So instead of 0 through 5, you get 1 to 6. So that's your quick tutorial on how to import the random class, how to make a random object called dice, and how to use that dice object to go fetch random numbers for you, and also how to add 1 to give yourself kind of a starting point. So that's how in slot machines or any program that uses random numbers that they make that. And we'll be doing some more complex things with this, but for now I just wanted to give you guys the core basics of a random number generator, and that's this. So thank you guys for watching. Copy this code and play around with it, and soon enough you'll be experts at it, I promise. So again, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next tutorial.